Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ATA GP2 division around Malaysia. My name is Mr. Michaels, and I am by myself here tonight. It seems that will be the normal thing now because Craig Senna is taking a break from the game, and he'll be back next season. Sorry for the slight. I was in silence for quite some time, but I'm here now. Yeah, first thing straight away, we are quite low on numbers today, which is quite weird. We did have 14, it's now down to 13. But yeah, we are low on numbers at the moment, which is not good to see. It's disappointing as well. But as I'm just going on to the tyres now, that should be fine. Lap delta as well. And yep, we want fastest lap on the leader. Fastest lap, yes. So so sorry, we have 13. Well, was going to be 14. I think somebody lagged out. I've been away from the screen for quite some time, but I'm back here now for this round in Malaysia. As we see Frantic, so because we have lower numbers, we are straight into Q2 to decide who's going to be going through out of these lot. And already, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen, you've got Floodlines and Skyline on the mediums, HLG, Joran and Krog on the softs. So yeah, a few different strategies going on. There's Fast Part Time in the Ferrari on the super soft tyres for today as he slides sideways out of the turn 4, I believe that is. He's got his teammate F1 Acer here as well. I don't believe there's any Renaults here tonight, which is bad for me because I'm the owner of Renault. Skyline goes around the circuit at the moment. No times set so far. So people are just getting used to this track. Skyline has already admitted that this track is not his best at all, so he's not looking forward to tonight. There's Bossman in the McLaren, who's just finishing his lap, I believe, in the super soft. He opens up the DRS now and sets a 35.1. Should be quite decent, but obviously still got some very fast drivers in the league to set time now as Joran goes in. HLG has just set a 34.3, so there we go on the soft tyres. That's a little bit better. So in terms of the championship, as Waltown now goes fastest on the 33.0. In terms of the championship, Frantic leads the championship after last week's race at Singapore. He just won the race over Bultel. 32.1, Jesus. Times are flooding in now. It's a really fast time now from Frantic, 32.1. Yes, he leads the championship. He's on 216 points. Master Krog is second after his podium in Singapore. He goes on to 179. Floodlines, after a disappointing round last week, is third place in the championship. He's on 168. Then it's Bultel 144. And then best of the rest, if you will, HLG is 5th on 84. Then it's Skyline 78, Matty 69, Joran 54, and Honey Badger 24, which rounds out the top 10. Red Bull now have taken the lead of the constructors on 220. Force India 195, Mercedes 180, McLaren 180, Mercedes 181, McLaren 180, and Williams 153. So still championship well up for grabs as we come into the last few rounds of the season. Now this is going to be the last race of GP2 in 2017. We will have a week off for Christmas, and then obviously we'll be back in the new year 2018. But I believe the 6th or 7th of January is the first race back for the league. So yeah, it should be key for these drivers to maybe end the year on a high, on a positive result. One thing also, with us being here at Malaysia, as Master Krog goes around the more trickiest corner on the track, the double right-hander before the back straight. It is dry for this session, which is good. Well, good for them anyway, because Malaysia is known for its changeable conditions. quite interesting to see as Master Krog improves to a 32.9. He's on the soft tyres, obviously trying to go with his strategy. Let me just check my messages, guys. Right, sorry about that. So times at the moment, Frantique fastest on a 32.1. That should see him safely through to the next session. So as a reminder, it's the top 10 that go through to the next session, Q3. Currently in 10th place is actually IGD Skyline, who's improved to a 34.9 on the medium tyres, interestingly. Floodlines also did the mediums, he did a 34.1, and that's a little bit more safe than what Skyline has done. But yeah, it's the top 10 that go through to Q3. 11th, 12th and 13th, which is Joe and Acer and Fast Spark Times. So both Ferraris are down there. And, excuse me. But both Ferraris are outside of the top 10 at the moment. Yeah, in terms of numbers tonight, it is a shame to see. But maybe it's, you know, it's close to Christmas and potentially different, as I believe Floodlines, yes, Floodlines has improved to a 33.5 on the medium, so he's got some good race pace by the looks of it. And let's have a look at how Ace is doing as he goes down into the final corner of his lap. It's going to start one actually, so, or not, because he's going to go into the bits. Let's see how fast part-time does. He's on the soft tyres. He goes into, again, this tricky corner and it misses the apex. Good thing it's an out lap that he's doing, because it'll be quite interesting. But he's coming up to the final corner now, so he's got to beat a 34.9 to get into the top 10 shootout. As he comes round the final corner, opens up the DRS, going down into turn 1. And let's see what mile an hour he goes to. He goes up to 198 and is very, very late on the brakes. He's gone way too deep into turn 1. He'll probably continue this lap, but he'll probably have to have another go. We've got 6 minutes left, so he's got time. Let's continue round. Turn 3 is completely, well, it's not really a corner really, as we've gone up into turn 4. That's the end of the first sector. Now going up through turn 4, got a run traction here. And now this is really the most exciting part of the track, also the most difficult. Got to hug the apex on the left and try and flick it to the right, but the car wants to spit sideways and understeer you off. But he's kept it on the track, which is good. Double right hand, you've got to clip one apex, then clip the second, which he's done. So ever since that first turn 1 mistake, he's improving on this lap all the time. Now going into the uphill hairpin, which the traction on the exit is very difficult, and he's actually controlled that very nicely. And now into this next right hand, we're now into the final sector. This is the make or break of the lap, because you've got this fast left and right corner. Now this is the most tricky. You've got to go wide on the entrance, but not too wide, because that curve will just suck you out. And he's actually done that corner very, very nicely indeed. Opens up the DRS, because you get DRS down to this final corner, towards the very final corner of the lap, which is just a simple hairpin left round. You don't have to hit the apex. It's going to open up the DRS now. This is going to be into the top 10 actually. It's a 34.0. So despite that mistake into turn 1, that is a very impressive lap from Dom in there. And he's going again, he's having trouble with that turn 1 braking zone. Goes straight on into that first corner. But he's in the top 10 for now. Could be quite interesting. We've got 4.5 minutes to go. And this top 10, as always, seems to be really competitive. Bossman is now on the bubble on a 34.5, but both Williams, both on a 34.3, are going to be interesting. We're on board with HLG now as it goes into turn 1. Mercedes of either Eagle or Bulltail there. I believe it was Eagle, because I think he's improved to a 33.3. As HLG goes round turn 1 and 2. You see, he got braking just right, so that would be key on his lap as he goes round up to turn 4. Manny GB is also on a lap. Bulltail has retired, just checking. He's manually retired that, so that's fine. as HOG goes around the difficult left and right. Car just wants to spin sideways, but he's controlling it very nicely as he goes around there. Scott, everyone outside the top 10 are currently on a lap. So currently as it stands, it's both drivers in the Haas and Acer in the Ferrari that are coming out. As Bossman has retired, he has decided, well, I don't think it can prove as oh, HOG has clipped the curb on the outside and he spun it. He has spun it, and that is, well, he can probably make it round again, but his tyres are probably gone. So that's his effort done. Let's see what Skyline's doing. He's got a lot of traffic in front of him actually into the final corner. He's got Mercedes and a Force India by the looks of it. No, it's his teammate Joran, who is going to complete a lap, I believe. Yes, but doesn't get into the top 10. He only improves to a 34.7. Knocks his teammate down to 12th actually. So, and Acer is struggling with this track at the moment. It is quite difficult actually to be quick around here. There are a few spots that are quite tricky. But let's see what Ryan can do, trying to get himself into the top 10. I've noticed he's gone onto the soft tyres, so he's changed his strategy. He'll obviously be a little bit faster than what he did on the mediums. He's got traffic though of the Mercedes in front of him. Shouldn't hamper him too much, but if he gets too close to that dirty air, and he didn't hit the apex in the first car, but the second part is okay. But there you go, he went onto the curbs and the end. He's going too fast, and yeah, his lap, well, lap is finished, I think. Well, it won't be finished, but I don't think this lap will do. Manny GB, meantime, has gone up to second on a 32.5, so yet again, got the pace in him. Ever since that Belgium and Monza, where he crashed out in Q1 in both races, he seems to have got the knack of qualifying together, as Ryan is finding it very tricky, that final corner, that tricky right-hander. His teammate Joran's in front of him, actually. It's actually Desert Eagle in between. Desert Eagle's already through in 5th place, but it's obviously trying to improve in his lap. They're both going to cross the line. What is Joran going to do? Joran goes into 9th on a 34.1. What does Ryan do behind? A 34.6 is not enough. Those mistakes cost him. We know Bossman is in. Ace is improved to a 36.8. And he's a 10th up in his first sector apparently, so it's these two really. You also got HLG that could move the bar higher. In fact, he's going to cross the line. This is a much better lap. 32.3. Yeah, it took a while. That's an absolutely beautiful lap by HLG. Brilliant. Into second place. I mean, he's got some pace, but that's right at the end of the session where the track is there. Dom is in the pits. Maybe a little bit... Oh, Joran's run out of fuel, so his qualifying's over. It's Acer and Skyline that could knock Joran out of the top 10. Joran has got no fuel left. Even Dom is on the bubble because he's in the pits. He can't improve. And here comes Acer in the Ferrari. He's actually going to go 8th on a 33.6, knocks Dom into 10th place. So Ryan, yet again, like Singapore, he's the only person that can knock Dom out of qualifying as he's trying to go round to the penultimate corner now. He's the only one that can knock Dom out of the top 10. Joe and his team has got no fuel left. So let's see what he can do. He's apparently 7/10ths up, which will be enough just, but he's got to finish up the lap very, very smartly. Let's see if he can crosses the line now. It's a 34 flat to beat. It's a 33.9. Unbelievable. How much is that? How much is that? That is 8/100ths. He has snuck in right at the death. Goodness me, Ryan. Dom would not like you for that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Skyline by 8/100 sneaks into the top 10 and on soft tyres as well. So he'll be starting on lap, starting his race on those tyres. Goodness me, that was close. So unfortunately, the ones eliminated from qualifying in Q2 this time is fast spark time in the Ferrari, Joran in the Haas, and Bossman in the McLaren. So in that session, we will have Frantique, who ended up the session fastest. from HLG and Maddie. So both Williams, if they can do that lap in Q3, that would be very good for them. Second and third. Bultel in the Mercedes on soft tyres got 4th. Krog on soft tyres in the Red Bull got 5th. And Desert Eagle 6th in the Mercedes. Floodlines actually down in 7th place. But I think he did his on the medium tyres, so obviously the race director at the end will tell us that. Honey Badger, obviously Honey Badger is back after his race ban. So he's back, he's into Q3, I believe for the first time actually. He finished that in 8th. Acer through to Q3 for the first time in the Ferrari in 9th. And Skyline, as I said, just scraping in right at the death. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting. For those of you that are watching this race, as the qualifying has ended and I was correct, Floodlines was the only one on the medium tyres that got through. But you can see you got Bultel, Krog, Acer and Skyline all on the soft tyres. They will start the race on the softs, as well as everyone else, whatever tyre they start race on. But look at the difference between Skyline in 10th and Dom in 11th, 8/100ths of a second between the two. And Joran was quite close as well on a 34-1. So very competitive stuff in the top 10. Let's see and hope that the competitiveness will be in Q3, as those 10 drivers will now battle out to see who will get pole position in this league, which obviously, if you didn't know already, gives you an extra bonus point. So first up, is it going to be dry? It is. Slightly overcast as we go into Q3 now. I presume everybody will be on the super soft tyre, which is the fastest tyre this weekend or this race event. They are indeed. Let's put the lap delta up, as we have one of the Mercedes, I believe. I think that might be Bultel. Is indeed. He will be first out to set a lap, which is different actually, because last week he left it and that hampered him because it rained right at the end of the session and he wasn't able to do that. Desert Eagle, his teammate, is going to be the next one out. So let's see whether Bultel can continue his fight for the Drivers' Championship. Also as well, trying to help secure Mercedes' top spot in the combined total points of the constructor, because obviously he is team owner of Mercedes. I believe he's staying as team owner for next season. I haven't confirmed that, but I believe he is. They are currently leading the combined total of F1 and GP2, only just because you have Red Bull and Williams snapping at their heels now because of their very good drivers in respective divisions. So yes, he wants to get some good points tonight for himself and his team, so obviously he'll be looking to try and get as high up the grid as possible. Now, for those of you who are watching this in ATA currently in F1 and GP2, there was a stream that we did last night that should be uploaded shortly on the YouTube channel. Yeah, that should be uploaded shortly of our plans for next season. We also talked about this season briefly, just to keep the conversation going. But yes, so we talked about next season, about what's happening, which includes a driver transfer market. So each driver will be valued. There'll be team owners that will buy the drivers in some sort of way. Meantime, both Mercedes got very close to one another. Desert Eagle got way too close to Bultel. Ideally, he's got dirty air behind him. In fact, spatial thing between everyone wasn't exactly great, but Bultel's going into turn 1, slightly goes deep into that turn 1. It's not massively bad if you do that, if you mistime your brakes into turn 1 and go a little bit too deep, but it does hamper your lap. As he goes now up into turn 4, just clips the apex very nicely, back end stepping out a little bit. We're in the number 95, which is quite interesting. As it goes into the fast left and right, the back end wants to swing out sideways, and again it did on the exit. Teammate behind, I think, did the same. Clips, just about clips both apexes very nicely in a double right-hander. Now into the uphill hairpin, the hairpin of doom. Controls the traction though, very, very nicely. Now into the fast left-right section. They got a snap of oversteer for his troubles. Oh, and he's I don't know what happened there. Lost it a little bit. He's got his teammate Eagle behind him. As he obviously gets out of the way, gives him a little bit of slipstream actually. Might have helped Eagle a little bit, but Bulltail's going to have another go at the qualifying. He goes darts in the pits for a new set of tyres, but Eagle completes his lap with a 33.6. Of course, we saw 32s. Frantique actually goes in there, but Krog's got a 31.8. He had a little bit of help from Skyline actually. Interesting. HLG's gone second on a 32.9. Bit far off of Master Krog, as Matty GB, no, tops it, 31.7. Times went flooding in because they were so close to one another. And I think a few people got a little bit hammered on their laps as well. Honey Badger's gone 4th on the Toro Rosso. Yes, the spatial thing from everyone isn't exactly the best in this session. They've got plenty of time to go. Eagle, meantime, Frantique, he's got dirty air in front of him. Eagle was trying to get out of the way, and he has done. The dirty air is so... There's someone behind Ryan as well as Master Krog. I don't think... Yeah, he's 8/10ths behind. I think they're all just trying to get back to the pits. The laps. Acer's in a completely good space actually. He's got no one in front of him or behind. Floodlines is on a 51.9. Obviously he's been hampered with his. Yeah, Matty GB sets the early pace then. But obviously you had Bulltail who messed up his run. So he still has yet to set his time. As Acer goes a little bit, I don't know why he was doing that. Hang on a sec, message coming through. Right, sorry about that guys, a few messages I'm sending out. So early runs there. Matty GB still tops the session on a 31.7. Master Krog second on a 31.8. Then we've got Frantique in third, so Red Bull's first and third. It basically goes Williams, Red Bull, Williams, because HLG is in fourth ahead of Skyline, who's in fifth now on a 33.2, just ahead of his old teammate Honey Badger, interestingly. So there, Desert Eagle is seventh on a 33.6. Acer, got a lot more time there, show on a 37.5. Floodlines is still at the pits. And Bulltail is just beginning his lap. Yes, he is. So let's ride on board with him as he goes down into turn one. Let's see if he can nail this lap this time. As Frantique, wow. Goodness me, 4,000th closest to his teammate. He's just popped second on a 31.7. Literally right behind Bulltail. Bulltail's on a lap. Krog's just behind. 4 minutes to go. They'll be interested to get back into the pits. But Frantique's so close to he was close to Matty GB, sorry. Actually. So Matty GB's right up there with those two. And Frantique has retired. He doesn't think he can do any more. So he's not going to have pole position this time. Which is interesting. I don't know why he would pit at a certain point. Unless he's... No, he's manually retired. So... He had time to get back into the pit, so I'm not sure about that. Although saying that, it's a little bit hard pushed as Bulltail is coming around the 23.5 middle sector. Don't know whether that's good or not, but the lap seems okay at the moment. He's got Rob behind him. So the 31s is the time really to beat at the present moment. Thank goodness it's dry for everyone else's sake. Let's see what we get for the race, obviously, because I have no idea what the weather conditions will be as Bulltail comes now down into the final corner. Comes around the hairpin now, looks pretty good. It's not going to be into the 31s. There's a well, it's close. There's a 32-1, goes P4 behind the three of Krog, Manny, and Franti. Krog, in fact, has gone on again for his lap. He hasn't darted into the pits. Maybe he thinks there isn't enough time. We can try and go for another one there, but see what he can do. Let's see what HG as well. Honey Badger, they're all just starting their final runs there. Eagles in the pits. Might be able to get in time. Here's Floodlines. He's on a 51.9 at the moment. Obviously, he has not shown his hand yet. And then he only just got through in Q2. Well, we don't know his pace yet. With Floodlines, we don't know his pace because he set his time on medium tyres. So let's see what he can do as he starts his lap. Frantic already retired. It could be quite interesting to see where Frantic ends up. Definitely think he had time as HG has retired on that. Oh, he's crashed it. Where is he? Where's he crashed that? That is, oh, that's the after the fast left and right. He is out of qualifying. 32.9. He was obviously pushing but could not get it in time. Bloodlions is on a lap. Manny GB is not on a lap, and now I think it's raining because yeah, you saw that flash. You saw that flash of lines. The rain is now coming down, and has Floodlines left it way too late? I think he should be okay because it just started. Manny GB will be praying it comes down in torrents, but well, you can see the rain coming onto the car now. Everyone else is still on laps at the moment. HLG is going to get no higher than 5th. With this, yeah, sprinkling of rain that's come down, is that going to hamper Floodlines as he comes round into the tricky corner there? You've also got Matty GB who's going to be starting another lap. Honey Badger has retired as well. He thinks the rain may be too much as Floodlines goes into the final corner. With Franti second at the moment, can Floodlines get in front of his title rival? It's not going to be in a 31s, it's a 32.5. He goes P5. I don't know whether he'll be happy with that. That's quite far off, but obviously the rain has hampered him. Bulltail has spun it, so his qualifying is over. I think the rain's now too much. Crod definitely doesn't have enough left because he's done more than a few laps. Well, in fact, Bulltail's retired, so I think Maddie's got it. I'm out. So I hit my knee on my desk. I think Matty GB has got his pole position. The track is deteriorated far too much. As you can see from Ryan, he's currently 7th on a 33.2. I don't think anybody's going to improve now. Eagle's in 9th on his outlap. No, that's it. I believe that's it. And I believe that is Matty GB's first pole position in ATA. And what a time to get it as well. With Williams still in the constructors, but they need good results, and that is a perfect result for Matty. Absolute fantastic stuff. But you can see how the rain, even though it wasn't that much to begin with, has really deteriorated the track. Shame in a way, because we could have had a real battle for pole position, but Matty GB will not be complaining one bit. Obviously he gets a extra point for pole position, and he'll have that to his name, his first ever pole position. I believe he's had a front row before. I believe Canada is where he got second, if I remember rightly. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. So hope he can convert it to a race victory, because obviously he hasn't had a race victory before. But 5 thousandths of a second was the gap between himself and Frantique. Floodline's actually starting 5th. Considering it's on the medium tyres, as long as he doesn't lose too much time at the start, would be happy with that. 7 tenths off though. Maybe this track is not his best, but he's in 5th. So it's Williams, Red Bull, so both Red Bulls, in fact, within a tenth of Matty. So if Matty's going to win this race, he's going to have to keep both of them at bay. Bulltown and Mercedes is 4th, then Flood, HLG, Skyline, Honey, Desert Eagle, and Acer in the top 10. So 13 drivers here for the Malaysian Grand Prix this evening. As I said, it's a shame for the lower amount of numbers, but yes, there we go. We have a dry race here tonight. Completely dry. It's sunny. It's baking sunlight. You can see the shine off the silver on the just above the garages there. But yes, we are all set for the, as I said, the final race that I'll be commentating on in Gp2 and F1 27 in the year 2017. It's been an interesting year. It's been ups and downs. Obviously, we started this league, I believe, at the start of 2017, or maybe a little bit further in. And here we are in our second season, going into our third. Obviously, expanding the league, making the league very excited. I'm very excited for when we do the driver draw, because it's brilliant stuff. Obviously, if you want to hear the details of that, watch the information stream that was produced yesterday. Obviously, wait for it when it's uploaded on YouTube. But yes, let's hope we can end 2017 on a high note before we go into 2018. And who knows where we'll be this time next year. So, big question is, can Matty GB hold off both Red Bulls and claim his first victory in ATA? Obviously, pole position is the best place to start from, and Williams pick up some very good points from that. Obviously, with only 13 drivers here, the potential of drivers that don't normally score points of scoring points is quite high, which is obviously good for them. Of course, you have to finish the race to score points, mind you. We shouldn't see too many crashes or retirees in this race because of well, the rules are quite far apart. The pit lane entrance, actually, quite a few drivers have said that it's troubling them a little bit. Yes, we may see a few of that. Corner cutting again should not be a problem, really. We should see a very competitive race here today. It's a tricky track, really. As I said, a few spots that could sort of spin your car and catch you out. So we shall see. In turn 1 and 2 is very, very difficult to negotiate, especially on the first lap. So let's hope we can get through there very nicely. We're actually waiting for quite some time, which is pretty good. Good to see. Unfortunately, as I said, no Renaults here tonight, which is not good for myself, and because obviously I'm team owner of Renault. Trying to get the drivers in, and they just wouldn't turn up. I believe Tufty Candy was actually meant to be here as well. I think he's the one that disconnected, because we did have 14. We're now down to 13. Why are we not starting? Come on, boys. I mean, I'm glad you're not readying up, but wow. Wow, what's Ryan doing in there? A speech? One listening to a speech in there? Eventually. Ah, there we go. There's the Eagle did ready up, and there we go. So obviously, it's great. It's great that they're actually respecting that, not readying up on the grid, because obviously they want to do their setups and everything, and their race strategies. But here we go for the next round of the ATA GP2 division around Malaysia. What could we potentially see here tonight? Let's hope for a very good race, that's for sure. As here we go, ready for 5 lights of the Malaysian Grand Prix, and lights out and away they go. Desert Eagle drive-through penalty jump start. I think there was a problem with the start, because Williams just did not go at all. Matty GB and has lost his pole position, unfortunately. Skyline's up in the 4th as they go into turn 1, 3 wide for a bit of it. As they go into turn 2 again, very, very tight. Can they keep? Yes, I believe it's relatively clean through, but Frantic has taken the lead from Master Krog in HOD in 3rd. So Matty's dropped down to 4th. Probably this lag start that's been hampering quite a few drivers lately. Whilst Bart-Time, I think, is dropping down. I think he may have a spin. No, he's just getting caught up in the traffic, but a clean start here tonight. Oh, no, say clean start. Then there's a Williams gone off. Is Maddie the pole position? Oh my God, no. I don't know whether he's made contact with anyone, but he's spun. He's into the wall, and there's a Toro Rosso Joran as well that's sideways. Oh, I feel so sorry for him because he started so well, that pole position. That is ridiculously bad luck, and he's got damage as well. That is such a shame. We got Honey Badger, HLG, there's a Ferrari, there's a McLaren, there's a Mercedes sideways as well. A ridiculous midfield, and then the Williams has gone sideways, he's off. Oh my God, what is going on? Both Williams, what's happened with him? He's spun off. Oh my goodness me, the Williams have had a nightmare. The Red Bulls, meantime, because of all this, have got into the Honey Badgers up at the inside of Ryan. Up at the inside there, makes a clean move. There's a Mercedes darting into the pits, might be Desert Eagle, I think. But the Red Bulls away, but it's anybody's game for third place. Look at this train. Ridiculous. Desert Eagle, there's the trouble with the pit lane as Honey Badger goes far too deep, I think. Into the turn one. You got Acer up there in 5th. What an amazing start from him. Yeah, then you got Bulltail's in there as well. And you got the McLaren of Floodlines. Obviously, he's on the Mercedes, almost 3 wide going into turn 4. But Bulltail's on the inside of Acer, and he makes a clean pass there into 5th place. Ridiculous midfield as Acer. He's trying to retaliate through that corner. And Bulltail went slightly sideways. Camera, please. Acer's there, and Floodlines is going to make it 3 wide. No, that's never going to work. That was never going to work. But Bulltail's been hit sideways because he was on the outside of all that. Wow. Well. Okay. So there we go. 3 wide in that double right hand. It would never going to work. Bloodlines was trying to work his way through there. Bulltail was the one that ended up on the other side there. But meantime, up at the front, it's Frantique. Well, he didn't get pole position. Obviously, Manny GB did. But because Manny GB, in fact, both Williams have had a horrific start. Both spinning off, and now give the command to Red Bull. But now, if Master Krog is going to win this race, and obviously you've got Honey Badger there in 3rd place, still, the battle rages on between Floodlines and Acer and Bulltail. Bulltail's looking up on the inside of Acer. Acer's trying to find a way past Floodlines to go down into, not having that camera there. Bulltail's just gone past the pair of them, run through the middle, and Floodlines is trying to look his way through. Bulltail's still battling with Acer. Great racing, they're still keeping it clean as Bulltail just goes right round the outside. Amazing stuff between these 3. Amazing stuff. So Floodlines has taken the opportunity now. Can Acer retaliate from these 2? Obviously he's had a great start to his race. Let's continue that on. But Eagle's in the pits again. What has he had? Oh, of course he had that drive-through. So that has really hampered him going into this. So, as I was saying at the start, between the 2 Red Bulls, if Krog's going to win this race, he's got to keep with that. Acer's looking for the dive bomb up in the inside of Bulltail, and he makes it stick. Well, Bulltail just sort of dart out of the way. It was clean, it was sudden, but it made it work for himself. Got it up on the inside there. And that's okay then. That's okay. It was a dive bomb, but it was a clean one. And Ace has just gone straight off in that really tricky corner. The right-hander, you go 2 wide on the entrance and he's off. So Bulltail is back through anyway. Well, frantic stuff here. As Honey Badger is solidly in that 3rd place. Now, can you imagine the guy that got a race ban in Monza getting a podium here tonight? But look at the train of cars right behind there, Ryan in 4th place. And HLG has retired. DNF, that is a shame, and he is out of the race. And Dom is spun it, he's on the gravel. It's me. Not a great race for HLG tonight. I don't know whether he would want to speak with me or not, but we'll have a look, see. The 2 Red Bulls leading from Honey Badger in 3rd. Skyline is in 4th place. They're going to be under pressure from Floodlines in 5th. Now HLG is not willing to talk. Acer is battling with Bossman at the moment for 7th place now. They dropped off there there, and in fact both Williams are actually out. In fact, Matty has crashed it on the final corner. Both Williams are out. Such a shame for the pair of them. No points tonight. As I said, they needed some points to keep in the constructors, but that's not how they wanted to end 2017, that's for sure. Now you've got Floodlines, who is right at the back of Skyline, and he is now under pressure for Bulltail, so he want to make the move quickly, and Skyline is just... He said he doesn't like this track at all, and you can see he's not entirely happy with everything, and Floodlines is just going to go right on the outside of Skyline. Skyline's keep it on the inside to have a look. And Bulltail's obviously, he is there, so we've got another three-way battle here, which again involves Floodlines and Bulltail. Floodlines with the DRS is going to go on the outside of turn 1. Can Skyline retaliate? No, I don't think so, but he's trying to stick it in there, keeping the space. He's still there, you can see from Bulltail, and Floodlines makes the move done, and Ryan having problems with his traction, going sideways out the corner, and he's now going to try and stay ahead of Bulltail, because Bulltail's just trying to look away through. He doesn't want to allow Floodlines to get away. But Ryan, he's keeping it with these guys. As the race continues on, there's a 3-second gap between Krog and Frantique, the two Red Bulls in command of this race. And obviously we also see who comes out on top. Bulltail looking for any which way to try and find a way by, weaving his wheel, probably in frustration trying to get past Brian, because you can see Floodlines is just dropping in front, even though he's on the medium tyres. He's got genuine pace here. Maybe we could see him maybe attempt a one-stop and get himself into the front of this race. But anyway, Bulltail's going for the dive bomb. He's going for it. Not exactly there. Just levers his way past. I mean, he can make that move, but you've got to go right into the corner, and he does so. Let's see whether Ryan can make a move back. No, thinks better of it. Maybe get the DRS down past turn 1. Past the start finish straight. Behind him is Acer, I believe, and actually might be Eagle, who's already a lap down, I believe. Potentially. And it does mean after quite interesting first lap, we're down to 11 drivers, unfortunately, which is a shame. Still got a race here. The Skyline, you can see, he's having maybe trouble with his tyres. Tyre wear is a little bit of a problem. Ace is in 7th. Joan in 8th. Bossman is looking for a way past Joan for 8th place, and Dom is actually letting the leaders through. He's in 10th place with Eagle 43 seconds behind, so them two have had their troubles in tonight's race already. As we're on lap 6 of this race, of a 28 lap race. Still, you've got Bulltail now, after getting past Ryan as quickly as he could. He's now coming up to the Floodlines, and obviously if he wants to stay ahead or get ahead of Floodlines at the end of this race, he has to make that overtake on the track. But let's see where he can do that. I think Ryan is going to be happy. He's got actually Desert Eagle, who is a lap down already, is done there, and Bossman and Joran are side by side with each other, and Bossman has just gone right round the outside of Joran. Joran's trying to stick with it. Joran's actually in a super soft, so Bossman's on the mediums. I believe Bossman has made the move, so good move from him into 8th place. As we go into this helicopter cam, I guess. Interesting when they go into this little view. No one really making a pit stop. Actually, I say that. Dom has now made a pit stop. So he currently goes around in 11th place. Can he pick up another extra point to add to his total? Ryan has got the Mercedes of Eagle right behind him. But Eagle obviously a lap down on the rest of the field. Bulltail is getting ever so closer now to Floodlines. Oh, surely he wasn't picking up a move, but he got very close to the inside of Flood there. Go around the fast left and right. Obviously Bulltail has the grip advantage, but now on lap 7, are those tyres starting to drop off a little bit? Obviously they've done qualifying, so those tyres may not be at their very best. as Skylar's actually been unlapped by Eagle. Eagle's actually unlapped himself from Skylar. Eagle now in 10th, but obviously needs to make his pit stop. So we'll tell Eagle's trying to get his way through. Obviously, for Eagle, if there was a safety car, if it was working, it would be massive for him. Get back into the race, but unfortunately it doesn't. The only problems you have, it's difficult to get back. And Bulltail is going to have DRS. Yes, he does. He has DRS on the back of Floodlines. As I said, he needs to make the overtake if he wants to finish ahead of him in the race, because obviously his strategy is on the way round. Oh, and he's actually going to go into the pits. So there you go, his tyres were at the end. So now goes into the pits. In the pits as well is Honey Badger. Bulltail making absolutely sure that he slows down for the pits, so he would now go on to a set of medium tyres for himself. Honey Badger goes on to soft tyres. So it seems like the tyre wear thing, or the tyre glitch, has sorted itself. It didn't show the correct tyre compound. The Honey Badger ahead of Bulltail at the moment. He's had a good return to ATA after his race ban. As I said in the stream last night, he's actually really took his race ban. He understood. I mean, most people that I've even said you have a race ban for such and such, they immediately do not like it, but he understood, and he's obviously refreshed. He's back and on course for a podium, but he's got to keep behind Floodlines and Bulltail obviously on their strategies. See what they can do. I don't think Bulltail can do a one-stop from now. I could be wrong, of course, but we shall see what he does now on the medium tyres. Or is he going to put in the consistent laps now? Last man behind him is yet to make a pit stop, so Floodlines has now moved into third place, but the two Red Bulls still first and second at the moment. And Franti's got now a 4.5 second lead ahead of his teammate. Obviously he has the better grip. I believe he has the fastest lap. Yes, he does. 36.0 compared to Bulltail's 36.6, which I believe is a 36.4 to his teammate. So yeah, these two definitely the class of the field. Looking very, very good at the moment. Unfortunately, the field seems to have actually no, need to go to interval. Seem to have spread out a little bit. There's a 3 seconds between Bulltail and Bossman, and Bulltail to Honey Badger. Obviously, we shall see what goes on with that. It just happens sometimes. These races, they do end up like that. But we're a third of the way through this race. As I said, no chance of rain by the looks of it. But let's see if Krog, he's keeping the gap quite respectable, considering the tyre advantage that Frantic does have. But the question for Krog is, if he wants to win this race, what strategy is he going to do? Is he going to go on mediums in his stop when he does pit, or does he go on to the super softs and do go more aggressive? I think really personally he's got to go more aggressive, because then he can sort of work his way through. Skyline now, no, I thought he was close to Eagle. In fact, him and Eagle are actually going through each other. Remember, Eagle's a lap down and he's trying to unlap himself. Obviously not happy that he's behind him, but he's behind there for a reason. He's going to have DRS. This is an interesting situation between these two. Obviously slightly awkward. Dom has also crashed it in the middle sector, and Dom's actually retired from the race. And Skyline again with Eagle. I don't know what this is really. It is quite interesting as they go now, but we now only have 10 drivers remaining because of Dom's retirement. So Eagle will at least get a point if he finishes. But yeah, Dom has, I believe, manually retired, and yes, he has left the session as well. So not very happy with this. And in fact, Krog is now got the gap down. He's got to under 4 seconds. So I think at this point, this is where Frantique's tyres, he's the only one left who started on super softs and hasn't pitted yet. His tyres are now dropping down a little bit. This is the opportunity for Krog. He's going to have to push and gain the gap down as he continues on. Skyline stays ahead of Eagle for now. Obviously, Eagle's going to be frustrated. Obviously, got caught up somewhere in the first lap, and obviously got a drive through, I think, from a jump start. So obviously, that has hampered him a little bit. Is Franti going into the pits? No, he does not. So again, he's taking these tyres very long, as Krog is actually pitted before him, despite being on the soft tyres. So Krog is interesting strategy. Maybe he's playing safe. Maybe he's allowing his team, or maybe it's just something different. Just on fresh tyres. And he now goes on to... Okay. I'm not too sure. Another set of soft tyres, I think, for judging by the race director. Bloodlines has got past him. Ryan is now in the pits. Slow it down. There we go. Yep, perfectly done. So Krog is going to come out in third place. F1 Acer still up there in fourth. Obviously, he hasn't pitted, I believe. He goes into turn one, locks up his brakes. Obviously, he's not running ABS, I do believe. And Ryan is going on to a set of medium tyres, probably to the end of the race. Bossman goes past him. So, question for Krog now is he's got to go through it. As Floodline's retired. Has he crashed? Yes, he has. Yes, he has. That is a huge thing for the championship. One of the championship rivals. He's having an awful run of luck, an awful run of form. And he has crashed it at just after the first left and right. He is out of the race. Oh, no. Goodness me. I do feel for him because he started off the championship so well, and from issues in qualifying and incidents that he's had, it's dropped off, and yet again he's not scored any points here tonight. Well. So this podium is still up for grabs here, but one of the championship contenders is out. Wow. Turn up for the books, I guess. But there we go, we're now down to 9 drivers. It's a shame, obviously we started off with only 14, which is a lot less than we normally have. Ace is in the pits, and Frantique has actually gone into the pits as well. And he's actually gone into the same set of tyres as Krog has done, onto the soft tyres, so no tyre advantage here, but the gap has shrunk 2.6 seconds, so Krog is still in the fight here. Then you've got Honey Badger, who's a further 8 seconds back on soft tyres. He definitely wants a podium here tonight, that's for sure. Hotel is in fourth now on the mediums. He may not pit again, so I think he's too far back really to cause... Or no, actually, he's close enough to the leaders at the moment. How far is he behind? 14 seconds. He's enough at the moment. He's got a message, hang on. No, JB, reply to your question. You have to finish the race to score points. Unless it's 75% race distance, then you will get half points if you disconnect. But as that is a proper retirement, he does not get any points here tonight. I don't believe he got fastest lap, or they definitely didn't get pole, so no. Yeah, so Matty GB will still obviously get his point for pole, but he crashed out earlier in the race. So yeah, you have to finish the race to secure the points from that. Meantime, Krog has rid the fastest lap actually, has got the gap down. He's still in this fight with Frantique. So in this fight to battle with Frantique with his teammate. I don't believe there will be any team orders between the two of them, but can he take the fight to his teammate? He's always said, well, he actually said last week after Singapore, he doesn't believe he can keep up with his teammate. He believes that his teammate's faster. Frantique is faster than you, that kind of thing. But he believes that his teammate is faster. He doesn't think he can win the championship, but you never know. I mean, obviously, I always believe if you have someone faster than you, that's a good thing because it's a target. It's a target to help you get faster. And that's what I always say. You know, when some people say, you know, why is he so fast? I sometimes say it. I mean, I've said it in Singapore with George Carton in F1, but it's a challenge, and I like a challenge, and I like a target in front of me. Meantime, as for a target for Skyline is Bossman in front of him. I don't believe Bossman's pitted. No, he's the only one remaining who's yet to pit, so obviously now he's slightly struggling on his tyres as they go through that hairpin, which that traction coming out that hairpin is ridiculous. It's like turn 2 in Austria. Really tricky. As Skyline's trying to line Bossman up for a pass. Got to be careful around this corner. Gonna keep the apex now. He's going to have DRS going down into the final corner. And he make a move. I don't think he's close enough really to make a move up the inside here. He got close. He's waiting for this next one as they go round the final corner. Surely he's close enough really to make a move on Bossman. Here we go. He's going to have plenty of space up the inside. Bossman did move quite late actually in the braking zone. Ryan might not be very pleased about that, but he's trying to hug it around the outside. Bossman slightly rude on his defense there, when just basically casually went back across, just opened up the steering, and Ryan is always moving back across. No. Oh, interesting stuff. And Ryan taking none of it, dives at the inside of the fast left and right, and he's through. A few moves there were slightly debatable, but at least there wasn't any contact made there. And Ryan is through. I'm into 5th place now. We can focus on, he's 21 seconds behind Bulltail, who's in 4th, who's now pressurizing Honey Badger for that 3rd place. But Acer, interestingly, has gone onto these super soft tyres, and he's very quickly catching up to this group here. Obviously, they've been battling, but Acer's gone onto a very aggressive strategy now to try and claw his way up through the field. Desert Eagle again in the pits and again speeding in the pit lane. Gotta slow down, man. Use your brakes. Goes into the pits. He's trundling around, picking up points. That's what you need to do. As Bulltail, as I said, getting very close to Joran. Not Joran, Honey Badger. Because Joran used to be in the Toro Rosso. That's why I'm getting confused. Acer is getting very close to Honey Badger. Very close to Bossman. So keep an eye on that. Still the 2 Red Bulls separated by about 3 seconds. The Grog is still there, still keeping Franti aware that I am here. I am still challenging, as Acer is now very close to these guys in front. And there is the Mercedes of Desert Eagle actually is again, as I said, a lap down, and he's through in this battle. Grog's made a mistake somewhere. The gap's gone up to 3.5 on the front, but we'll focus on Acer. He's going to try and find a way past Bossman here. Skyline's got past Eagle. And Eagle's going to let this battle go through. There he goes. Very nicely done. But Acer, very interesting strategy he's trying to do here. Super soft tyres, absolutely flown up to the back of Bossman. Let's see what he can make a move. Oh, no. Oh, that was an interesting move. We'll try and oh, here we go. This is going to be close between the pair of them, just keeping enough space between each other. Just about. And Bossman's taking a very heavy defensive line, and he's going to go wide on the exit. Ace is through. Also got Eagle picking his nose in, I guess. Why are you battling them when you are lapped down? I'm not too sure. Acer is through into 6th place. Eagle, what do you do? Eagle, wow. That's me. Be careful, Eagle. Come on. Just stay out the battle. Meantime, Bulltail has now caught up within a second of Honey Badger. So Honey Badger cannot shake off Bulltail despite being on the faster tyre. Obviously he's just trying to run his own race. He's doing a very good race at the moment. I'll have to check back with Ace and Eagle, but Bulltail really, he knows he's got the tyre advantage now. I don't believe he needs to pit. I think he might actually have to. It depends. I mean, I haven't personally done my tyre wear strategy yet, so I'm unsure what to do for tomorrow's race, obviously in the F1 division. Just need to do my own practice at the time. And Bortel struggling with the traction, obviously the mediums. Obviously with the hardest tyre at any track, they take a long time, but obviously the grip is very, very low compared to any others. Let's see if Honey Badger can hold off Bortel. Bortel with the DRS. And let's see whether he can hold up as they go down into turn 1. Let's see, I'm sure Bortel's going to go for the lunge. He does. He does get the rim. Honey Badger may have had a tap actually. I didn't see had the wrong camera angle going into that, but Bortel's through into third place. Can Honey Badger retaliate going up into turn 4? I don't think it's close enough really. No, he does not. Maybe be a little bit safe and keep that there. Bossman is now in the pit, so he's taken the medium tyres 16 laps, which is quite good, I would have said. That's around about, that's a guess by the way, but I think it's around about how long the mediums will go, so see what he does. Long time in the pits, because obviously the McLaren's at the very end of the pit lane, and he goes on to the soft tyres, which should get him to the end of the race. We'll see how he ends up. Honey Badger's still with Bortel, actually, so this could be quite interesting for third. Gap between the two Red Bulls just gone up to 4 seconds. Frantique is maintaining the gap, maintaining control. As we have 10 laps to go as Frantique crosses the line. 10 laps to go in this race. Nice angle, I guess, of the picture as Honey Badger does actually go into the pits for his final stop of the evening. Very, very cautious into the pit lane actually. It's the second line that you need to get to. But yeah, very, very cautious. Put on his pit limiter very early actually. So we just wanted to be made very sure that he doesn't speed into the pit lane. And let's see what tyres he goes on to. Goes on to, well, it must be soft tyres actually. They didn't change and they just melded into each other, so it goes up into 4th place as Bossman and Honey Badger. No. Bossman and Johan actually, there's contact between the two of them. There was the slightest of touch actually from the Haas that sent Bossman into the gravel. And, well, oh, and then he's trying to put the power down when he's got dirt in his tyres. You've got to wait. You've got to wait before it goes around. Oh, well. And now Honey Badger's actually got out behind Ryan, and he's on the inside. Ryan just about keeping the space. Ryan is on the inside for this fast left-hand, just keeping the... Wow. There was inches between them, and Ryan is still there. Ryan is still there on the inside. They can go side by side for the top right-hander. This is amazing. Oh, and he's through. Oh my goodness me. That was absolutely incredible. There was an inch between the pair of them. That was brilliant. Brilliant stuff between the pair of them, but Honey Badger is through. He doesn't want to waste any time because he's fighting with Bortel for this podium here that he wants to get. Of course, Ryan is, I think he's trying to get to the end on these mediums, so he's trying to keep an eye on that. Bortel, meantime, is into the pits on soft tyres. Now, has Honey Badger lost time trying to get past Ryan? I believe he may have done. But let's see. There is Bortel. He's coming out of the pit. I think Bortel's got this. I think he does. Let's have a look as Honey Badger crosses the line now. Yeah, I think he has. Yeah. Bortel is going into that 3rd place. So there we go. Honey Badger did lose quite a bit of time in that traffic. So Bortel is now in that 3rd place. Solidly. Still good race though from Honey Badger. Still very good return to the league after his race ban that he has taken from Monza from his shenanigans with his teammate. And there you go, and Bortel is a full 40 seconds behind the two Red Bulls. And I mean, I know the Red Bulls have yet to make their... Are they going to make another stop actually? Because they've already made one stop. They may make a second. They're 40 seconds ahead of Autel. Absolutely remarkable that obviously both of them are pushing each other. Both of them are pushing faster, helping themselves claw away from everyone else. As a Desert Eagle's actually spun it. Still in 9th place. I hope he continues on actually, because he's still got 2 points, man. Which will help Mercedes anyway. But the 2 Red Bulls are just so far ahead. So far ahead. And there's 5 seconds now between Frantique and Krog. I think Krog may have given up the fight possibly on Frantique. He's made a couple of mistakes. Maybe off camera because the gap has gone up a little bit. And unfortunately the gaps are quite away. Fournette has got a message here. As Ace has gone into the pits for his... There, we've got messages coming in, sorry. Yes, the gaps are a little bit spread. We've got 8 laps to go in this race. I hope it'll be quiet. I hope a battle does emerge from here, but it seems not, as Asa and Joan are in the pits. Asa just coming out. Currently in 6th place, which is a good decent points for Ferrari. Joan's in the pits. Bossman has obviously done his pits. As Krog is now in the pits for his final stop. Close it down. Ooh, that was close. Close coming up to that line. As Joran is in the pits for super soft tyres. Might be going for the fastest lap. In fact, Krog is on super soft. So maybe he's trying to go over the undercut of his teammate. See what he can do. As he said, he's very comfortable over 3rd place Bultel. Obviously Bultel had that very interesting battle with himself, Floodlines and Asa at the start. It's obviously cost him time. It could be an explanation as to why he's almost he is the entire straight. The entire start line straight, as Bultel sets the fastest lap of 34.4. Which is just ahead of Krog, but Krog's now on the super soft, so he obviously will have a look at that. But yes, obviously 7 laps to go. I'll say at the end actually about Christmas and New Year. Obviously I hope you guys are having a good time with whatever you're doing for Christmas and New Year. Hope stay safe, obviously, and we have a very good one. I've all done my Christmas shopping. It's all done and ready for that, as Skyline is into the pits for his final stop to solidify his 5th place. It'll be a decent result for him, another 10 points, which will jump him ahead of actually of HLG because of HLG's troubles tonight. So that will push him ahead into 5th place in the championship. So he'll be very happy with that. Still got Honey Badger pressuring, although Honey Badger's further 50 points back if everything stays as it is. But yeah, solid 5th place for Ryan would be good for him. As Frantique continues coming around, we've already confirmed, or already asked him actually, whether he is able to still race on the Thursday for F1 division. And yeah, so, and he's already said that he is very keen into the F1 division, which is good to hear. And if you think that Frantique will be, as well as the others that we'll bring up, I do think they will do very well in F1. They will definitely be in the title fight because they deserve to be, because they're good drivers. They always leave the space in battles. It'd be good to race with them in the next season of ATA. As Joran and Asa currently battling around. Asa has actually ghosted. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Has he got damage? I think he does. Yeah, he does. He's lost his front wing. So those points, I think he may be recording potentially on that, but he's lost his front wing somewhere. But that's the point, it's gone down the drain for himself. And Joran has actually got Eagle around him as well. He's also got the Rebel, I think, of... no, not Frantic, Krog with him as well. Mercedes got no front wing as Krog is has actually set the fastest lap on a 33.7. So he's setting the fastest lap. I don't think he will be close enough to Frantic to pit that, as the Haas of Joran, I believe, gets out of the way for blue flags there. Does that very nicely. Joran currently going around in 7th place for the Haas team, so very decent points for him. 6 points, I believe it is, yes. But I don't think, even if Frantic does pit, maybe he won't. Maybe he won't, but we'll see with 5 laps to go. See what he does. He definitely seems to be struggling on his tyres. And the gap between himself and his teammate is coming down, so he's got to be careful that that gap doesn't get too close. See what he does coming into the final corner. No, he doesn't pit. Maybe he is. Maybe he's trying to go on a one stop at the moment. Only has the gap, but we'll see. Krog's still coming round in 2nd. Hotel in 3rd, as I said. Honey Badger, a very solid 4th place. He's 39 seconds out of Ryan. Obviously, Ryan has had his few issues in his battles there, but he's in 5th place with Bossman in 6th, Jordan in 7th. Acer has changed his front wing. He's actually ghosting around. I don't believe he's there, actually. Desert Eagle is going around with no front wing. Okay, fair enough. What do you want to do? Yep, 4 laps to go as we come to the end. I mean, it's not been the best of races. There've been battles. I mean, very good battles. Very interesting ones, especially at the start. I mean, it was a frantic start. I mean, obviously the numbers here has not helped, but that's just the way it is. It could be, as I said, close to Christmas. Obviously, it's the 21st of December, so 4 days to go until Christmas Day on Monday. Obviously, everyone will be preparing for that and getting themselves ready. As I said, I'm all ready. I'm all set for it, wrapped all my presents and everything else. Deliver my card, so I'm all set for it. But as I said, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a good New Year. And we will see you next time. Obviously, we've got tomorrow the F1 division, which will be presented by Fast Part-Time. Let's hope for a good race in that and a good turnout for the very last race of 2017 in ATA. Yes, as we've got 3 laps to go, it's definitely, I definitely think Frantic is doing a one stop here. He's got 23 seconds, and even though Krog is catching him quickly, it's not really quick enough. He won't lose 25 seconds in 3 laps, so I think he's just definitely trying to coast for a one stop here. As he goes, continuing round. Master Quill still obviously pushing as hard as he can, because maybe he hopes that Frantic's tyres will drop off. He definitely seems to be catching, well, it's like a second and a bit a lap, but it's not really enough. It needs to be catching, what, 5 seconds a lap? Obviously, we'll see. Hotel's still going around. No battles, unfortunately. The closest actually is between Honey Badger and Bulltail, and that's 7 seconds. Right now in 5th, and actually Ryan's had a problem in that corner there. He's far ahead of Bossman, so he should be okay. But the Red Bull Frantic actually, so he will be going a lap down if he's not too careful. Let's see with that, the gap's down to 22 seconds. And Krog, yeah. Krog, yeah, still catching very, very quickly, but it's far too much, but he's still trying. Those tyres on Frantic, they definitely look a little bit more for wear. Interesting to see what his tyre wear is. It could be quite bad, actually. So, seeing that. But obviously, even if he finishes second, he will still... I mean, his closest rival is now Master Grog. But definitely he's aiming for that title, and obviously going into 2018 being a perfect result if he can finish up in first place. They've got 2 laps to go though, and the gap's gone down to 21 seconds. So, as I said, the gap is coming down, but it's not coming down as much as it should if Grog is still going to win this. But obviously, the last few rounds in the championship, we still got the likes of Japan. We still got the likes of USA. Should be a good race for that one. Mexico. And then we've got Brazil and Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is a double points round, which will be good to see. Obviously, double points to keep the championship alive. And you can see those tyres on Frantic. I don't know how he's putting off a one stop. It's absolutely ridiculous if he does, and I may take that idea for tomorrow if it seems to work, because it does seem so. The gap is 20 seconds now, and it is a couple of seconds and a bit that he's losing. It doesn't seem to be enough really. Keeps on going round as Krog still pushing as hard as he can. He's got the fastest lap, I believe. Yes, he does, on a 33.7. He's only one in the 33s. Super softs right at the end. But if he is going to win this race, he's got to get this down to at least 10 seconds. I don't think it's really going to happen, so it will keep on trundling round. I believe Eagle has gone on to a set of super softs. He's actually trying to unlap himself from Ryan. He's been doing that quite a few times tonight, as Ryan is yeah, is kind of battling, but not really battling, because you're a lap down. You should be just... In fact, he's a minute and a half behind everyone else, so I don't know what he's trying to achieve here by doing this. This is going to be close. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, and we've got the leader actually of Frantica's getting in there, and Ryan tags the back of Eagle there. He's got to be careful, the leader's coming through. So yeah, Frantic is seeing all this as he goes through very carefully. Now it's down to 18 seconds. This is quite interesting as Eagle goes through, or Eagle lets both the Red Bull and Haas go through. So 17 seconds the gap is from Frantic to Krog. I think Frantic has definitely got this in the bag there. Yeah, JB, I quite agree. I don't know how Frantic is putting off this one stop, but it seems to be working for him. Obviously, he's lost a lot of time, but obviously if you've got that gap and your teammate has pitted, I guess you can try it. But he's there, and all credit to him. He's a very good driver, good on his tyre obviously, so he's got the Haas of Skyline and Eagle pressurising him actually. So this is quite interesting. They keep it relatively simple as Ryan is sliding his way out the hairpin. He's got Eagle right behind him actually. It's interesting that Eagle has done this all race, even though he's a lap down, and again he's looking on the inside. Don't! Jesus! It's too close. It's way too close for my liking. Oh, you're a minute and a half down. Come on, back off. But anyway, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on this great drive from Frantic. As JB has said to me in a message, how has he done a one stop? It's crazy how he's done this. Absolutely ridiculous. But he is going to come through to win the Malaysian Grand Prix. He's actually letting these guys through so they can do another lap. How gracious of him, I guess. But Frantic wins the race in Malaysia. He has done that in style very, very nicely. So well done to him. Krog is going to come home a second place for him. He gets the fastest lap. He weaves in celebration. And Boutel is going to have yet another podium for him. And he's actually, I don't know whether he's run out of fuel or something, but he's coasting, it seems, as he comes to the line in third place. But he is going to get that for himself. He gets third place for him. Honey Badger, now I must say that is a very, very nice drive for Honey Badger. Fourth place on his return to the league. Very, very nicely. And Skyline is going to pick up fifth place as he still battles with Eagle on the final lap. You know, Eagle's at that down. Oh, goodness me. Okay. Okay, right. I don't know what is going on between these guys, but it's not great to see between you. I don't know what he's doing. He's a lap, as I said, a lap down. Ryan is going up on the inside. The race is already finished, and you're just taking each other out. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Not what you want to see between those two there. As the race gets finished off across the line. Please, will be good. As Eagle clearly not happy with his car as he throws it into the wall in the last lap. Skyline does pick fifth for the race. As I said, Frantique. I just found that interesting how a Mercedes has just crashed itself into a wall that is littered with Petronas sponsorship. I do find that ironic. But yes, obviously we will try and sort that out, because obviously there was a bit of a argy-bargy between those two. But let's focus on the present here. Frantique, who takes another step towards the title. This is going to be a huge advantage for him. Ahead of his teammate as well. Red Bull just look completely dominant now ever since that transfer from Force India to Red Bull for Frantique. Red Bull look horrifically strong and getting more points than Mercedes for the combined total. Looks very interesting. Yes, Frantique takes the win with a one stop. No idea how he's done that, but took it by 13 seconds in the end. Ahead of Master Grog, his teammate. Bultel in third place for Mercedes, for good battling from himself. Honey Badger on his return to the league after his race ban in fourth place, good for him. Skylight in fifth, Bossman in sixth place for the McLaren, starting 13th, that's good. John in seventh, Acer in eighth, and Eagle in ninth picks up the final points. So there we go. There is the race in Malaysia. It wasn't the best one by any means, but it was still intriguing. There were still some battles, some good ones, a few talking points as well, but we will get the top three into the com box so we can have the interview of the podium. We can ask the questions between all of them. Oh, I just invited the wrong person. Oh dear, I just invited Eagle. Why did I do that? There we go. Right, please put a tick to next to it. Put a tick in the box, please. Actually, you guys know the drill by now because you're regular podium visitors, so you know. I was kind of hoping that I'd speak to somebody different, but you know, I'll speak to you three again.
It's not our fault.
It's not your fault. No, take nothing away from you guys. Another podium for you guys. It's brilliant, and it just shows what good drivers you are. But first of all, we go to Frantique, and as JB Racer said to me in a message, how on earth have you pulled off a one stop? I want to know your secret. How on earth have you done that?
I don't really know. Just like
I mean, how many laps? How many laps did you take on no super softs? Was it 10? And then you went
11,
softs to the end.
Yeah.
And obviously, how many laps in quali did you do on those set? Was it just the one?
Just the one. Yeah. Because I had in my
total,
mind that I was gonna have just one stop, so I was like, I've got to get this lap. Got to get this lap, just one lap.
So in total, you took those Superstars 12 laps.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 12 laps.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So obviously you mentioned about quali. You didn't get pole position this time. It was taken by Matty, GB, and the Williams.
Yeah, he done a great lap.
Yeah, did a very good lap, just ahead of both Red Bulls actually. 10th between you two, or you three actually. But yes, you obviously Matty had his problems unfortunately in the race. In fact, both Williams did. But you came through, had a interesting battle with your teammates, even though you weren't close to one another. It was interesting to see what tyre strategy were coming out on top. Obviously, you had something up your sleeve. But I mentioned at the end on the podium that is one step closer to the title. Is it now in your is it now in your sights? Can you see it, or is it, considering also you got double points in the end, is it still
double points?
Still full way?
That is the thing you have to think about. Double points, Abu Dhabi. So for teams at least, there's 100 points on the table. 100 points. Yeah. So.
So you still think the job isn't done yet, do you?
No, that job definitely isn't done yet. No.
Definitely, but definitely got the upper hand going into 2018, obviously. So it's a good thing to end on. Obviously, we talked about next season in season 3. Are you confirming or you're not confirming you're going to be team owner next season?
I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see what happens.
But we shall see. But yes, we shall see where you end up in the championship for this season as well. Wish you all the best. But once again, amazing race. Good, and well done on your first place. Then we go to your teammate, Master Krog, in second place. And as I said, it was an interesting tyre strategy until I saw what Frantique was going to do. And you got the fastest lap, Krog, so you take that away from Malaysia, so it's an extra point to yourself, which every little helps, obviously. Now second place comes very solidly in the championship because Floodlines didn't pick up any points. So is it now, I asked you, is it now solidifying second place for yourself, or is it you still see a challenge for your teammate?
I don't know, to be honest. We'll have to see how it goes. I mean, I like the run of races at the end. I'm okay around USA, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Can I just say though, what a qualifying session! That was fantastic.
Yeah,
so
very competitive. Very competitive, especially with you three, the 2 Red Bulls and Matty up there at the top, but 10 separating you. Yeah, it's very good. You didn't mention Japan. Is there a reason why you didn't mention Japan, or was it just forgot it was there? That is the next one.
No, I definitely knew it was there. Definitely knew it was there. Yeah, it's Malaysia and Japan aren't favourites of mine, to be honest. So that was So we'll see. But you never know. You never know how it's gonna fall. So it's good. It should be a good run to the end of the season. So we'll see.
Indeed, and obviously that with your result for first and second for Red Bull puts you well in the upper hand in the constructors for GP2, as well as helping out in the combined results. So that will help out. I believe Craig is still your team owner, even though he doesn't have the game anymore or is having a break, so he says. I believe he still is your team owner, but obviously you're helping him out. I'll speak to him. I'll let you know what he is doing with that. But yes, well done in your second place, Mr.
Thank you very much.
So finally we go to Portel. Another podium for yourself. Obviously you picked up second place last week in Singapore after a good race with Frantique. This race you had battles at the very start with Floodlines and Acer, which was quite interesting, 3 wide at some point, I think. And then you came out on top, and then you had a battle with Honey Badger for third place. was interesting to see who would come out on top on that. But you came out in the end for third place for Mercedes. So good points picked up from yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't the best race. After the last two, it's hard to race, so I had to be really careful because I didn't want to touch any of them. But then you get people like braking in high-speed corners in your race, your rhythm just goes off, so that's frustrating. I had to take my mic off because I was so frustrated. I was going to say things that I didn't want to say. But then coming up to who finished fourth? Who was it fourth?
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger. He was quick. He was quick, but I knew I had the pace on him, and he tried to jump me, but I don't know what happened. Why he's so far behind. But that was quite fun catching him. But other than that, it was quite boring. Considering, do you know, this league is run, if I can say it really well. The way it's all set up is actually done really well. The thing I mentioned to you on message about the penalties being made in hindsight, apart from that, everything's run perfectly. The jumps, the lag starts benefit the Red Bulls every single time, which is quite unfair on the pole sitter and everyone else. But other than that, you can't really help that as like league owners or anything like that. But they benefit the Red Bulls all the time.
I don't know. Yeah, don't know why that is. Obviously,
I don't know. Do you know what? It happens. It happens in other races as well. But it's just them two gone on 4 lights for me, and then Matty was miles behind, and then a big mess. So yeah,
you can blame Codemasters for that. That's all I can say on it. It just happens. It happens in some races, and I've never had it in any race I've driven. So it's just one of those things. I think
it's when you come out of time trial and enter the lobby straight away. I think you have to go to the home first and then reload the game back up. No, yeah, that's what I done. But wow, it was like 4 lights, and both of you were off. That's why I thought you jumped the start, and it's just like I've got to hold it for the 5 lights to go, and then I've passed Matty as well, and it's just awful.
That's why I thought Matty hadn't gone, because I'd gone and he just hadn't moved.
I was thinking, Jesus, you jumped the start.
Yeah, it's something that is out of our control. It happens sometimes it does, and happens in different ways. But anyway, what was it in Hungary? Skyline got like a massive start as well, and he led, I think, in the race that we did there because of a jump start. It's just the way it is. But anyway, thank you for your kind words, Baltel, and obviously, as I said last night in the stream, we're expanding a little bit for next season, potentially. Obviously, a new idea with this transfer market, which I'm excited about. Even Ryan said last night, can we just end the season now? Can we just name whoever's top champion and then just move on? I was like, no. But now thinking about it, I kind of do. But no, I want to finish this season.
You flipping a coin, Frantique?
Well, to be honest, what Frantique was saying earlier was a load of rubbish. He's won the title now. It's between second, third, and fourth. Whoever finishes second, that's that battle there. But the first place is pretty much done because he knows he's going to finish in the top 2 every single race, unless he makes mistakes. So that's pretty much done. So yeah, maybe he's just been a bit too nice there.
There's still teams, obviously. There's still the combined points, which is like really close as well, and that obviously is key. That obviously is very, very key for next season. So,
how far am I?
Will you be,
if you don't mind,
Baltel, will you be team owner next season? Are you keeping it?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Obviously, we'll ask everyone else when the time comes of who wants to do it. I believe because obviously you got a good team in Red Bull here, and you got a good team in Williams. Obviously, Mercedes will have to keep the points up elsewhere. But yeah, still a battle between those 3. And obviously, you've got McLaren, Haas, and Force India still there. Be good. But yeah, that obviously is still up for grabs, even if other things seem out of grabs at the start. But obviously, we shall see what happens in 2018, because as I mentioned earlier, that is the last race of 2017 in ATA. It's been an interesting year. It's caused a little bit of stress, but also it's been enjoyable most of the time, I will say that. and that's what we got to focus on, the good parts. Let's focus on the good parts, and there were good ones, especially tonight. There were good battles, and I praise anyone who was in those battles. But yes, so from everyone in ATA GP2, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We will see you, I believe, 6th or 7th of January, if my calendar is in my head is correct, for the next GP2 race, which will be round the legendary circuit of Japan. Full circuit, by the way, not the short, just in case you were wondering. The full circuit of Japan.
Best track
we're not
on the
doing
game.
35-second laps. Not a chance. Not a chance. So, yeah. So the full circuit of Japan will be the next race in January when we hit 2018. So, but obviously tomorrow we have the F1 division, which will be presented by Fast Part-Time. Hopefully, pretty sure he would. And you? Are you confirming this? Are you going to be there?
Yep, I'm commentating with Dom tomorrow, so that should be fun.
Okay. Okay, we'll go through that. Go through that tomorrow. But yes, thank you everyone who has watched or watches these videos since we've started this, and obviously everyone that's watched live on Twitch. We still got one viewer. It could be the one viewer that watched from the very start. So thank you very much if it is you. But anyway, from everyone in GP2, we'll see you in 2018. Make sure you join us tomorrow for the very last race of 2017. So from now until then, good night, and we'll see you next time.